Too much talent, too little exposure. Join us as we look to uncover the hidden gems in our city. Behind every alleyway and in every park cage is talent waiting for an opportunity. Players with dreams that soar higher than the towers that surround them and a shared ambition to take our city right to the top. This is Birmingham.
Everyone else was playing when I was younger. My family are very sporting family. My dad plays a lot of cricket. My uncles played football, so in school, and then was taken to the local team, Maypole, and then just from there really. So I was 7 when I first went to Maypole, and then I was 9. I think I was 9 when I got scouted at Villa, and then was at Villa ever since. Yeah, like obviously growing up, it was like my mum and dad really doing everything for me, making sure that I got back from school and got to training on time, which I think is like, now you look back and you realise that it's the massive thing that helped you to sort of progress really, because you talk to a lot of people who played when they were younger and they didn't have that, being able to go to training every day and someone to take them, whereas obviously alhamdulillah my mum and dad were make sure my kit's clean and ready as soon as I get back from training. My dad will take me. If not, if he's busy with something or whatever, my uncle's there to take me one of the days. And so I think that main thing of having that there to be able to be able to get to train for start and get back, which was massive. My dad played a lot of cricket, and so they know about sports. They know kind of what's needed to progress in sports. Like I said, my uncle he played football as well, so coming from like a sporting family, no one obviously played professionally, but they knew what to, going into training, you need to show a bit extra, you need to be showing the coaches why you're there and stuff like that. So that kind of advice and thinking obviously played a big part. My uncle, he played for your old team that you took over, Barn Green.
Oh wow!
And
which is now Birmingham United.
Yeah, Birmingham United. Yeah, so
small world.
He played a lot of places, but it was a bit before me. I sort of watched the end of his career. I was playing centre mid, and then obviously Sunday League, taking corners, goal kicks, free kicks, throw-ins, everything. And then when I got to Villa and I got a bit more serious, I was kind of moved to centre back quite early. I think I remember when I was on trial, someone got injured, and then I went into centre back and I done well. I think I kind of stayed there. So yeah, pretty much centre back now. Obviously, I signed when I was 9 at Villa, and then was there throughout. So making debut at 17, obviously a big thing. I've been there 9-10 years already, and yeah. Now you look back on it, you realise how big of a thing it was at the time. You're probably in the moment thinking, all right, looking at what's next. I made my debut. I want to progress and whatever. But now looking back, actually making your debut for Villa, it's like a big thing. Under 15s, so it was the Victory Shield when I made my debut, and then played until under 20s, all the age groups.
A lot of people think that coming through an academy from under 9s all the way through to a first team, everything's all rosy. Do you remember any of the bumps or bad moments that you might have had? Any age groups in particular, any injuries that you thought, you know what, it's going to be difficult to bounce back from?
I think the biggest kind of obstacle that I had and I struggled with was when I was trying to transition from youth team football to first team football. I went out on loan a few times and, struggling to, when you're used to playing at club level and you're playing like, I was playing a year up, 2 years up even, so I was doing that all the way through, and then to get to the level where I want to go into a first team, and to go on loan and then you're not playing and you're sitting on the bench, and it's difficult because that's all you want to do. You want to go and show yourself, and then you're going on loan to play and you're sitting on the bench. So that was like say psychologically that was tough, man. But that's when you just have to keep going. You can't get disheartened. You come back, you got to keep going, and then eventually you'll find where's right for you. And yeah, alhamdulillah, the last couple of years have been good. I've played a lot of games and been able to feel that I'm here. I'm here now. You remember now the whole process of going through the qualifiers, and they had the elite rounds. I think they still got the elite rounds, which is another qualifying round, and then obviously the tournament as well. I'd played previously in a under 17 Euros and an under 17 World Cup.
Yeah.
So then obviously with the 19s Euros, we had like a amazing team with some of the players that are obviously playing now in the Prem. Reece James, that Mason Mount, Trent Alexander-Arnold, all these guys who were playing, Aaron Ramsdale. But yeah, winning that, I remember my uncle and my dad were there, which was a big thing. So it was a good memory. In the final I scored the first goal. It wasn't the winning goal, but it was the first goal. Yeah, of the
Tell
game.
us about that feeling.
Yeah, I was obviously a bit surprised first, but
I remember it being a follow-up, right?
yeah, Mason Mount took the free kick and it came off the post and then headed in. Watch it back here and there.
I've been really fortunate to spend some time with you, especially going through my coaching qualifications and my different roles within football. I've seen you firsthand when we was on England camp in Germany. England versus Germany, it doesn't get any bigger. I was watching you, the way that you prepare for games. You were quite one of the early players that really took care of your body. What's going through your mind during that process when you're preparing for such a big game like that?
Obviously, there's nerves still now when you're preparing for games. There's still obviously nerves and stuff, but you just get ready going through with me anyway. I have like kind of a process of, what I want to do before the game to prepare for the game. I won't go through it all, but yeah, obviously, you're stretching and you're just getting your mind right, thinking, okay, what you're gonna do, what you're gonna do in the game, basically. It's obviously changed over time a little bit. Like when I was younger, I think I thought about it too much. Like every action that I was trying to go through everything during the game. But now that I got a bit older, I've like relaxed a little bit and I can kind of be, have a little laugh and joke in the change room before the game and stuff like that.
Just fast forwarding then, the badges change internationally and the kit has changed. So tell me what's it been like representing Pakistan and how did that come about?
Yeah, it was last year. Obviously they'd been approaching me for a few years, but there was nothing really happening with the football. They had bans and stuff and stuff like that. So, but I made the decision last year. We went out to Mauritius first, and then we were preparing for the South Asian Cup, and then obviously playing in October in the World Cup qualifier where we won that game to get through to the next round, which is like history in Pakistani football, which has never been done. But it's a completely different experience, like, in every sense. But like the feeling of winning the game with like your country, your nation is different, man. And I love going away. All the like drama and the chaos that comes with it, but I love going away.
Yeah. Had you been back to the country many times before that?
No, I went once when I was very young.
Yeah.
Like with my mum. Yeah, I was 3 or 4. So yeah, it was the first time when I went back. When we won that game in Islamabad.
Yeah, so you've had some big games already, going straight into it. And I bet your family are proud as well.
Yeah. Even like my grandma, she follows obviously what I'm doing. And I think it's a little bit different now that I'm playing for Pakistan. She can relate a little bit more,
Yeah. I think here in Birmingham it's quite big as it is. So we're only down the road from Edgbaston Stadium where a lot of the cricket happens. And just seeing it from the cricket fans is enough to show how passionate they are. How about like the switch then? So was it a culture shock, and was it like you're in your club all day, every day, and then going into Pakistan? What was that switch like, and what's the Asian football like?
To be honest, I think I was prepared for it. I knew it wasn't going to be what I was used to at the club, like professionalism and even little things like the physio and warm up and everything like that. I knew it wasn't going to be what I've had, but
in terms of your players, though, so you took some UK players as well, right?
Yeah, there was a few of us that went same situation as me. We had our passports and we're eligible to play, and then they wanted us to play as well. So we went going obviously to try and help and to give like our experience as well. So it's difficult because they're not playing as much over there. Like the players that are selected, they're playing, but there's no structure in terms of like a proper league and everything like that. So
are the players, the main international Pakistani players, are they playing out of country?
I think there's a few who play in Afghanistan or neighbouring countries. Even they play in Pakistan, but not regularly, proper league structure and grassroots and all of this stuff and proper coaching and all of that. So it's difficult when you're like this year. We're coming up against like Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Tajikistan, like big teams in Asia.
Absolutely,
we went to like Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in the World Cup a couple of years ago. So you got no chance if you're playing with players who are not playing in the league.
Absolutely, so what players did you take with you from the UK?
There was Otis Khan.
Yeah,
he's at.
He's moved around.
Don't add that word.
He's moved around a bit, hasn't it? Otis Khan.
He's played a lot. Otis, he played a lot in. I think he's got like over 300 appearances in League One, League Two. Rahis Nabi. Haroon Hamid. Who's at QPR. There's a couple of other players who are eligible, and hopefully they might play soon as well. So that will help. Yeah,
huge credit to Riz with the Ames program that he's doing at the PFA. I think he's looking after a lot of players, and also the players that have come through the academy now have mentors. Am I right to say?
Yeah. There's obviously the scheme that they got with the PFA, which is good.
In terms of touching on your faith, I mean, what does it mean to you? And also, being a practicing Muslim, what does that look like for you day to day, working as a footballer?
Obviously now playing in Azerbaijan, it's a lot easier. Where it's a Muslim country, everybody understands. There's no, all right, people asking you, like looking at you funny or whatever. Everybody understands anyway. I think I didn't find it difficult, but it's different. Obviously, when you're playing, I played in Portugal and even in England to an extent where, you've got to not make time to play, but you've got to kind of go out your way to. Whereas in Azerbaijan now, it's easy. Like I was telling you before we started, that we're playing a game and we're playing Maghrib at half time with the coach and with the other players, which is something I've never experienced as well. But alhamdulillah, it's a very good thing.
It's slowly changing in the UK. There's a lot of clubs now who have adopted to this faith-based football. So there's an organisation called Nujum that are doing a lot of that, and I think a lot of clubs have got prayer rooms now.
Yeah, well,
that wasn't the case before.
Yeah, that's a massive credit to Nujum, to be honest. The guys there, Ebbs, Jamil, all of these guys who, they're putting so many things in place to help us athletes, not just footballers, but athletes. And they're starting in the UK, but they're trying to make it, in other countries as well, where they're the ones who are going to clubs and opening these prayer rooms at the stadiums, at the training grounds, making sure that, there's a halal food for players. There's other things that are in place. If they go on and delivering talks about Ramadan and Hajj and all of these things. So obviously, and I've spoken to non-Muslim like physios and whatever, and they're interested. They want to know. They want to know about it. So like when Ramadan comes, they don't know sometimes how to deal with a player who's fasting. So with these guys like at Nujum, going in and explaining and showing them that, all right, if you do need any questions asked or answering, then contact us, because we're here to help you. Especially at the top clubs where there must be like, all right, 2, 3, 4 Muslim players in a team. So they're spending so much on bringing these players in. Why not learn a bit more and try and make them feel more comfortable? If it's Ramadan or if they need somewhere to pray or whatever. They want the education, because I've spoken to like some like say the people who are working in the clubs, they're saying that we didn't know about that. We're interested to know, like, what is it? What do you do?
Amazing. So just touching on your moves abroad, going abroad to Portugal first, and then over to Azerbaijan. Like, have you enjoyed the process? Do you feel like you should have done it a lot earlier? There's a few players that are going abroad now. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, to be honest, I don't think about going earlier. I don't think I could have gone much earlier. I think I went out to Holland. I don't know if I went out to Holland for about 6 months, half a season, on loan when I was at Villa, so I was 19, 20 then. So that's still quite young. And then when I moved to Portugal, I was only 21. But I've loved it. I've loved it. I moved first year to Portugal, like I was coming to the end of my contract at Villa, and I knew I wasn't going to continue. I was only playing 23s, and then the opportunity came to go to Portugal. And just not just football, but life experiences, going out, living alone, and different country, getting used to different environments, and playing in a different language, basically.
Different culture.
I remember like learning, first few words on the pitch that I needed to know, because kind of that was my game, to talk a lot on the pitch and organise. That was one of my strengths, I would say. So I realised that, I need to learn like right, left, back, forward, man on. And then so that was a good experience. I played obviously in Portugal. I did a year in Madeira on loan, which is a Portuguese island, which just aside from the football, it's an amazing experience. And the football is, you learn a different way of preparing for a game in terms of how the week looks, different styles of coaching, tactics. And then, like I said, I moved to Azerbaijan last year, which was kind of a mad move, A lot of people probably never heard of Azerbaijan. Maybe might have heard of like Baku Formula One or whatever, but they don't know where Azerbaijan is. But I've loved that as well. Like I say, in a Muslim country where it's been nice to have that side of it, where kind of planning training around Salah, for example. On Fridays we'll train a bit later after Jummah, so it's like nice to see that side of it, and it's given me a different kind of direction in where do I want to go in my career, because that's kind of, I've seen that, look, this is making it easier for my deen, kind of, in a way. But still having that ambition to achieve things, and
of course,
and progress as well. So it's not like going over there and not caring about your career.
Yeah, one thing I haven't asked you is, obviously when we was on England national camp, there was some good players on there. So you played centre half in that game. It was freezing temperatures. I don't know if you remember this. We went to a place called Zwickau in Germany, and you played centre half with Ezra Konsa at the time. Who have you enjoyed playing with in England? Who would you think, they've got huge potential to go on, kick on? Is there anybody in particular, or?
You got a better memory than me, because I don't remember too much. But there's a lot of players, but I think the one that stands out is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Just like you could see at like 16, 17, maybe 16, the like competitiveness that he had and obviously the quality was like different level. His passing, his touch, his technique.
Yeah. So was he full back then, or?
He came in as centre mid, and then I remember he played a few games. He played with us at centre back as well, because that was like the point where he was like getting into the first team at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to come to the Euros, but it was in the off season, so Liverpool stopped him from going because he was going to go away with the first team.
Okay.
But I think what I seen was the competitiveness, like everything. You can see like they're playing two-touch after training, and it's like getting personal, I was watching it, because I think a lot of the Liverpool boys, like the Scousers, Liverpool, Everton, they were all like that as well.
Yeah.
They're getting like personal with just wanting to win.
It's that edge.
Ping pong, table tennis in the evenings. proper competitive, wanting to win.
Yeah. So touching on your injury now, I've never beaten you at two-touch. I think I might be able to win now. Talk to me about that, thoughts and feelings when the injury occurred, and what are the psychological factors challenges that are going through your mind currently?
Yeah, it's difficult because obviously I've had injuries before. I've done like other injuries, which I've had to have surgery for, but it's never been like this long of an injury, which is this obviously an ACL injury, which, you always hear like, all right, you're going to miss the season, you're going to miss 9, 12 months, whatever it is, and it's a long recovery. But when it first happened, I was like shocked because I wasn't expecting it. But then, like we were speaking about the faith, you you understand, like, you know, it's written, alhamdulillah, whatever happens, it was meant to happen, and, you know, it gives you opportunity to do other things. Like, obviously, I'm trying to stay switched on with the football as well. I'm trying not to, like, okay, just do completely other things where I'm trying to, at the moment, I'm looking at, you know, how I did last season, because I've got no new clips to look at this season now. So I'm going over everything I did last season. In terms of, okay, what were my strengths, going game by game. So then it's like giving me an understanding of where I'm fully at. So then that's good. When I come back, just watching football to be able to stay in that mode, because it's difficult because you're not playing. Obviously, the hardest thing is while I was back in Sungai, it was just watching. Like, I'm doing my training and I see through the window of the gym the training going on, and I'm doing sort of same things that I've been doing for like 2-3 months now. So that is difficult, but it was a good thing to be able to come back here and do some rehab at home, see my family, and get a change of scenery, because when I go back now, then I'll have that motivation again to go again. But there's always that end goal in sight, like, you know, you are going to come back, inshallah, so it's just making your body as strong as you can, being best prepared that, all right, you're not going to get these injuries again, but obviously it can happen, but you're just trying to do everything you can to get back here.
Appreciate you coming all the way from, you know, St George's Park, from rehab straight to us, so appreciate it. So inshallah you come back even stronger than you was. So in terms of any young Asian players coming through the game currently, what advice would you give, and, you know, what guidance would you give them?
I think in terms of advice, like, what I look back and think, like, I kind of don't compare myself to my little brother, but I think what things that I do different, because he plays, but he kind of he doesn't play at the level that he should, basically, because he can play at a better level. But I think the difference that I saw is that, all right, you've got to be dedicated. I think you asked about Asia, but I think it's just general. Like, now I look back and realize how much, like, I kind of sacrificed and missed. And just little things you look back, it's little things like, you know, going to a wedding, or
difference from your friends and family.
Going to visit someone, or going to go out for a meal, or whatever you've missed, like. But it was never a thing. It was never a choice for me. I always thought, you know, I've got a game tomorrow, I've got training later on, I can't go on. It was never a debate whether I'm going to go out with my friends or go to training. But I think obviously sometimes it's difficult for people, because they love that social side, and don't get me wrong, you can have that, but it can't get in the way of, you know, your training or your development. So that would be my advice. You have to be consistent. You have to do that sacrifice to be able to see the reward after. I think that's the main thing.
Well, people don't often talk about this, but coming through an academy, all the way from under nines all the way through to the first team, people don't realise what it's like when new players come to the team and try and take your position. Being a coach, I understand it, and also, like, as a player, how does that come across?
It's difficult. Obviously, you get it. You'll get it all throughout. It happens now. Look, I'm injured now, and they bought 2 centre backs. So they're coming to replace me. So it's my job when I get back to come and take my position back. But obviously, like you say, at a younger age, it's difficult, because even from that age, there's competition to be better than the next person. But that was, like I said, about my family. Like, they instilled that in me, that first of all, you're Asian. You need to train twice as hard. That was their mentality. Right or wrong, that's what they told me. So and then I remember, like, my uncle, he would always tell me that there was one guy who was strong in the team. He said you have to be stronger than him. There's one guy who was quick in the team. He'd say you have to be quicker than him. So that little thing that made you think, oh, this competition, you have to be. And you look at it now, how many players, like, make it or get to a high level or continue in the game. It's very, very small, the percentage, compared to how many actually play. So obviously that's one of the big differences.
Coming through the academy, would you say you were one of the taller players in the team?
Yeah.
Did you peak quite early?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was from probably 8, 9 until.
And what was that like in terms of managing your body through that? If you're going through that, that that dangly phase.
Yeah. I remember it was around, I think, 13, 14, 15. I had like growing pains. And I remember it quite clearly because I was having them pains and I was like, I didn't know what it was at the time, but I was like, not in control of my body.
Yeah.
Maybe you understand a bit better than me, but I wasn't like. And the coaches, they were good because they saw it. And I remember them like telling me, look, you're going through this phase. Don't stop getting on the ball. Like, don't shy away basically of getting on the ball because you're giving it away. So yeah, that was obviously you go through it as a kid. I was getting like pain in my knees and my hips and yeah, but obviously it just passes. You just gotta kind of get through it.
So Easah, to finish up then, what would your top tips be for an Asian player wanting to become a footballer?
I think one of them is what I mentioned earlier about being dedicated, not making sure you make them sacrifices to progress. Working hard obviously is a given. You can't do anything if you're going to do it half-hearted. And just having that belief that not looking and thinking, there's not many players or who look like me or Asian players, like you say, that are playing at a decent level or whatever, and thinking, it's not going to happen, or being like dissuaded by what people say, like, no, why are you going to do this? Because I had it with people saying to me like, what are you going to do like when you get to that age? Because you can't play. There's no one who's doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Just having that self-belief that you're putting in the work, you're controlling what you control, doing your training and making sure you're doing your thing, because that's all you can control. And then when you do get the opportunity to go to whatever level it is, to show what you're about. So I think them are the main things: being disciplined, putting in the work, and then having the belief that you're gonna get to where you want to get to.
Brilliant. Thank you.